Hello YouTube. This is going to be a short review on Cudominer. This is a new one-click simple graphical miner that's been out for a couple of months now. I thought I'd do a review because I've been using it actually for the last few months, except for till just recently, which I'll get to in a minute, because it paid more, usually substantially more than NiceHash. One of the things they advertise is they're the highest paying miner out there, which is only sort of true. They certainly are the highest paying graphical user interface miner that I've seen. So here you see this is what the miner looks like when you bring it up. If you want to install it, you go to Cudominer. Let's see. You can do referrals too. So there's my referral link there, and it's real simple. It takes you to the page, to the home page. You can click the download for whatever OS you're using, and then it downloads an exe file in case of Windows, which you double-click on, and when you do that, it brings you back to the miner. First thing it does, once you start running it via the run command here, I don't know if it does that automatically the first time you install it or not, but otherwise you click on enable and it starts running, and it will immediately start downloading the miners. Currently they've got about 11 of them, and as you can see here, has the option to auto-select what you want to mine. It switches back and forth to the most profitable one. It's been mining Ravencoin pretty consistently for the last number of months. On a rare basis, I saw it mine Bitcoin Gold. So you can see here that you can pick what you want to mine. There is Ethereum Classic, Ravencoin, Bitcoin Gold, Grin, Verge, and Vertcoin. And then you can also pick, and I have it clicked on auto, so it'll pick what it thinks is the most profitable. And you can see here it's mining Ravencoin. It's getting 35 mega hashes, approximately 36 mega hashes per second, using the X16R algorithm. It also has an option to do CPU mining, which you can turn on down here. You can turn it on here, enable that, and you can see it then starts mining with Monero. Okay, however, you can see my daily earnings went up from 103 to 104. So that's because I have a pretty old CPU. So I generally don't do CPU mining. Maybe if I got a new CPU I might, but I don't currently do that. So this is estimating $1.03 a day. It's running on my two GTX 1070s. It gives you the temperature, the fan speeds. Oh, this one's running a little high. Clocks. This is an EVGA GTX 1070, and this is an Asus Strix. That's why it's got a better core clock. Memory clock, power usage. Oh, that's interesting. Usually the EVGA is a lower power usage, but it does fluctuate a little bit. And of course the usage fluctuates a little bit also. There's a slider for the GPU usage limit. I've never tried that. I don't know how well it works. I figure if you're going to mine, you might as well mine 100%. It doesn't prevent me from doing other things on the computer at the same time. During the day I can run my stock stuff. I can play game. In the evening I can play games. It doesn't really affect, well, I don't do first-person shooters, so it probably would have an effect on that. I do mostly like Civ 6, and it's fine running this in the background while I do that. So, so also that lets you select your payout coin. You can do Ethereum or Bitcoin. I think that's Bitcoin. I think that's a regular Bitcoin, Monero or Ravencoin. I don't have wallets for any of those, so I just use my Coinbase Ethereum wallet. Until you actually cash out, all of your earnings are kept in Cudominer's internal wallets, which you can see if we go to transactions. It'll bring up a web page, and you can see withdraw funds, and you can look at accounts, and you can see I've got 2 accounts I can withdraw to, because that's where I did a little bit of mining with Bitcoin. So I can withdraw Ethereum or Bitcoin. If I had mined the other ones, I think they would show up also. There are minimums, of course, and they're not terrible, but they're not too bad. Ethereum is, I think, a 0.01 Ethereum. I think it's 0.1 Ethereum. So let's select this and see what you get. Let's see. Boy, there you go. There's the minimums here. 0.01 Ethereum, which is what, about $10 or so. So it takes a while to get up there. And there's, of course, a withdrawal fee, 1.5%. There's a network transaction fee, which is pretty minor. And then you specify the address you want to send it to. Okay, but let's go back to the Cudominers. So let's minimize this. Go back to the dashboard. It does have a fairly nice dashboard, shows your earnings. Okay. So back to Cudominer. So for my 2 1070s, that means I'm making about, what, 51, 52 cents each a day. For the 2 of them, that loses money for me on a daily basis. I think my current break-even for Cudominer is like $1.30 and change. It does use a little bit more power than NiceHash, so the break-even is a little bit higher for Cudominer. I can't figure it out whether this $1.03 is before or after fees. My expectation is this is before fees, so it's probably a little more or a little lower amount. But still, it's more than if I switch to NiceHash. NiceHash is getting around mid 50 cents to low 60 cent range, so it's definitely better than NiceHash. That's NiceHash Miner version 2. Okay, and if you've followed the news at all, they have discontinued development on NiceHash version 2, and now are suggesting everybody switch over to NiceHash Miner Legacy. So that's why I haven't been doing this so much in the last couple of weeks, because I did switch over to NiceHash Legacy, and it fluctuates a fair amount. I'll do a separate video on that, but and some of the time, I wouldn't say most of the time, but some of the time it's more than Cudominer. So I check it in the morning, see who's making the most. Generally have a cutoff. If it's less than 80 cents for any miner, I'd stop mining for a while until it comes back up. The interesting thing is with Cudominer, the daily potential doesn't seem to change much unless you stop and restart it. I've seen as low as like 93 cents. I've seen it as high as $1.27 thereabouts, approximately. So there you go. If you decide that you want to mine Grin, which I think is pretty profitable these days, or at least better than most these days, they don't currently have implemented a payout option for Grin, which is why it doesn't show up in the payout options down here. But they said in a future release, hopefully not too soon, they'll have that. The interesting thing is when I did try mining Grin, let's switch it here to Grin. You can see what happens. It stops the GPU, and it'll start up in a minute. It uses B-Miner. I only have 8 meg graphic cards, so I got to use Kuguru 29. Can't use Kuguru 31 because that requires 11 gigabytes. So it will start up here in a little bit. But basically, what I wanted to show you is it says your daily estimates and your monthly estimates are not available. I think that's how new this is. So basically, they added the miner. It will keep your Grin accumulations in the Grin internal wallet, and then once they get, they said once they get it set up for payout, it will let you pay it out from that, and it'll take the stuff you held and pay it out, whatever the minimum payout is, which they haven't specified yet. But so let me go back to. Well, it says sometimes it stops, and then when it tries to load, it says error miner. If you wait a little bit, it will go back to mining. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go back to auto and let it select, go back to Ravencoin. So, oh, there you see it went from starting to minor error. We'll wait a minute. I've seen this before. We'll wait a minute, and it should go back to mining. If it doesn't, I just close it down and start it back up, and then it usually starts mining effectively. So let's give that a try and see if it changes the. Oh, there you go. It changed the earnings potential to $1.04 from $1.03 because I switched the miner. So let's close this out. Let's disable this. Close this. I have it set up so it, when you close it, it minimizes it to the system tray. So I got to close it and exit it in the system tray. Then we'll go over here and we'll click on this to get the icon. Click on the Cudominer icon. Oh, there we go. And we'll click on Enable. And it should start, and hopefully miner again. It should start hopefully mining actually. Don't know why it does that. It's usually if I wait a minute, it will start mining. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. But so there you have Cudominer. It's pretty good. If you haven't switched over to NiceHash Miner Legacy, probably would be better to do that. But I wanted to show you what it looks like. When they actually have the GRIN payout implemented, I will start mining that. I want to see how much it makes before I switch it over. So there you go. Hope that helps.